Apple Pay Later is the new Apple service that allows eligible customers to spread the costs of a purchase over 6 weeks. If you're eligible and keen to learn more, this is the guide for you. This video will cover what Apple Pay Later is, how it works, how to apply for it, where you can use it, and how to set up Apple Pay Later on your iPhone or Apple device. So, what is Apple Pay Later? You might already be familiar with some of Apple Pay's services, like options for mobile payments and ways to send money with Apple Pay. The new Apple Buy Now Pay Later service lets you split the cost of a purchase over 4 payments and 6 weeks, with no interest and no fees. You'll just need to apply in advance to be approved for a loan. The Apple Pay Later launch date was back in March 2023, starting with a rollout to select users. In future, all eligible Apple Pay customers can benefit from this service. Okay, now how does Apple Pay Later work? Apple Pay Later allows you to split the cost of a purchase into 4 installments you pay over 6 weeks. To use the service, you must be eligible and you'll need to apply and be approved in advance for a loan. Then, when you're checking out using Apple Pay, you'll simply need to select the Pay Later option. Apple then pays the merchant in full and you pay Apple back over 4 installments. Apple Pay Later can be used for purchases from $50 to $1,000 on iPhones and iPads that support the service. You'll also need to be over 18 in an eligible US location, and you may need to verify your identity with your passport or driving license. So, how do you apply for Apple Pay Later? You can apply for Apple Pay in advance in your Apple Wallet, or when you're shopping online and you see Apple Pay offered by a merchant. Here's how to apply with checking out using Apple Pay. First, choose Apple Pay at checkout when making a purchase. Second, find and tap the Pay Later tab, then continue. Next, read through the plan details, then tap Agree and Continue. Then select or add the debit card that you want to use for your initial payment. And then finally, double-click the phone's side button to confirm payment with Face ID, Touch ID, or your passcode. So which countries can use Apple Pay Later? At the moment, Apple Pay Later is only available in the US and may not be available in all states. It's not offered in US territories either. If you're not in the US, you'll need an alternative. Apple Pay Later and the Apple Card are different services. While you can use the Apple Card to pay later, as it's a credit card, you'll usually need to pay interest, and fees may apply if you're late to clear your bill. The Apple Pay Later option lets you split the cost of a purchase over 6 weeks with no interest or fees, just so long as you pay the loan installments properly. Now, the bottom line is, if you're eligible for the Apple Pay Later service, you could use it in a smart way to spread the cost of a purchase over 6 weeks. However, Apple Pay Later is still being rolled out at the time of this recording, so you might not find you're able to access the service just yet. You can use Apple Pay Later online and in-store wherever it shows up as a payment option at checkout. Keep in mind that there is a soft credit check performed when you use Apple Pay Later, but it does not impact your credit score. However, your loan and repayment history can be shared with credit bureaus after you complete a purchase. Apple states there is currently no impact to credit scores, but there may be in the future. Overall, Apple Pay seems like a great service, seamlessly integrated directly into Apple Pay. But please do be careful getting into too much consumer debt and make sure those repayments are on time.